Alright, let's go ahead and run one of our trials for our gas collection test. Now what we're going to be doing in this test is we're going to be taking magnesium metal and adding 1 molar hydrochloric acid to it. So we can see 1 molar hydrochloric acid just looks like water. It definitely is not water. Let's go ahead and run it. We have our gas collection apparatus set up already. So what we need to do now is collect our data. So we're going to take 1 piece of magnesium metal here out of our bag. We're going to take the mass of it. We already have a beaker on the scale. It's been zeroed out. We're going to add that piece of magnesium metal and take our measurement. So this is, on the scale it says 0.042 grams. 0.042 grams. Make sure you guys are adding this data into your data sheet. So 0.042 grams. So we have the measurement of that. We're going to add it to our Buchner flask. When I add this, I'm going to try and get it into one corner of the container. So you see, I tilt the container and dropped it in so that our metal is at one portion of the container. I'm doing that so that I can add the hydrochloric acid and keep them separate for a moment until I cap it. Now, looking at our Erlenmeyer flask, we have 4.4 milliliters. 4.4 milliliters of 1 molar hydrochloric acid that we're going to add to this. I'm going to tilt my flask the other way and gently pour in my hydrochloric acid. That way, my hydrochloric acid and my magnesium metal are not going to come into contact before I cap this. The last piece of information is the starting milliliters of gas in our graduated cylinder. So, taking a look at that, we've got about 24 milliliters of gas already in. So that's our starting milliliters of gas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cork this, keeping both my metal and my acid separate. It's been corked now, making sure that there's no kinks in the tube so that the gas can flow freely. And now I'm going to bring that metal and that gas together. What you probably won't be able to see on the video is that it looks like my metal is bubbling. What's happening here is my metal, my magnesium metal, and my hydrochloric acid are producing gas. Now what that gas is hydrogen gas. So that's what you can see here, is hydrogen gas being produced. It's a rapid bubbling. And as it bubbles, you can see that gas is being forced into our container here. And so you can see the bubbles as this is going downwards. Now I can still see the magnesium metal and appearance-wise. This magnesium had some black on it. It was a dull color. But as it's bubbling, it's getting more and more shiny. This acid is basically polishing this metal. It's taking off that outer layer of the metal and exposing that new unoxidized layer of that metal. Aside from hydrogen gas being produced here, we also are getting an aqueous solution of magnesium chloride. So that's your whole chemical reaction. We're going to take a moment to let this fully react. It starts out very rapidly, but starts to slow down as you start to run out of acid. So we'll continue to swirl this, get that acid mixed up with the magnesium metal. It'll eventually break into a couple of pieces because the acid is eating all the way through it. And at the very end, we'll know we're done because all that magnesium metal will be completely gone. So we see we're still getting bubbling here. More and more gas is being produced. Our piece of magnesium is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. We now have 2 pieces of magnesium metal because it ate through the middle of it, ate through the middle of our strip. Continue stirring this, continue watching our bubbles being produced. Right now, on our graduated cylinder, we are down to 67 milliliters. 67 milliliters. But we're not done yet. We still have a little bit of magnesium metal. Now, this metal is almost all completely gone, but once we're not able to see it by eye, we are still going to stir it for about 30 more seconds just to make sure everything has fully reacted. All our magnesium metal is gone. Continue stirring it. It looks like our level of gas has bottomed out, and we are at 68 milliliters. So our final reading on our graduated cylinder is 68 milliliters of gas. Make sure that you guys add this to your data collection sheet.